I've muted myself all day today. I'm just self-editing. I'm gatekeeping myself.
It is hard not to think psychologically when you're like, I don't know, I keep muting myself. I don't know.
What is happening? For the Center Galaxy, this is the ForceCenter podcast and show. I don't know what the intro is anymore. We are a show about Star Wars, pop culture, the ultimate adventure, life itself. I'm Ken Efsuck, as you can clearly tell, live on a Friday.
Very live, very Friday. Yes, I'm very happy to be here. Once again, had a oh man, I think I got everything under control. I should be ready for the whoops. Nope. So I've just come screaming in. I got a cocktail, and later on when we start taking calls, I got my Sith Lord hat, so I'll put that on.
Love that.
For call time.
I'm cracking my cocktail of choice today, which is a good bubbly White Claw, not a sponsor.
Nice.
That's the Friday I'm having. It's an okay Friday. It's a good Friday. Weather's beautiful here out in Los Angeles, the city you and I both love, and so not a bad day. You know what I did today, Joseph? I on my therapist's recommendation, I took my breakfast. And she did say it like that. I took my breakfast out in my patio with no phone and just me sitting in nature, blue jays, squirrels, and a bowl of Trader Joe's cereal. It was a good start to the day.
And did you do what I sometimes do when I try that? Is that I find myself very much enjoying it. And then I notice my hand is like trying to reach for something that isn't there.
Yes. Well, my mind got so clear. I was like, oh, I need to text Owen. Oh, I can't. I left it inside. That was the deal.
I normally have my phone right here on my computer, and there's one day that's like, okay, I'm just going to have lunch, and I'm going to move my phone, and I literally like tapped the cheese to see if there were any updates on the cheese of my lunch.
Well, in about a year, we'll all need to have our cheese app, so that works as well. We're here. It's Friday. It's ForceCenter Now, our live show on Fridays. We also have our live news show, but this is our little talkback show. If you are a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/ForceCenter, you get the link to call in, unique link every Friday. And today and for the next couple weeks, the show's mostly going to be a Maul. I keep saying talkback because that's like, a hip term from 12 years ago. But it's a chance for our ForceCenter friends to call in and share what they loved about the episodes of Maul Shadow Lord that aired. Episodes 1 and 2 out and in the wild. So on the off chance that you haven't seen the show yet or you're waiting, spoilers will pop up. But we also want to talk about other things. This is a chance for Joseph and I and Jennifer when she is free down the line to just kind of, let loose in the Star Wars world. And Joseph, you and I had a very Star Wars adventure on Wednesday. You and I drove on down to a part of the world I haven't been in a long time, even though on a map it's only a few miles away. Marina Del Rey to hang out with Alex and Molly. It's Star Wars Explained.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It is a very funny Los Angeles thing of it's just there's no fast way to get from where Ken lives in Burbank, where I live in Hollywood, out to the beach. So it feels like this weird just trek, this epic journey. And it is, people around here joke, it's a measure of love. And the fact that you and I were like, yes, we will go to Marina Del Rey on a Wednesday night. We will go during rush hour because we love hanging out with Alex and Molly. And it was fantastic. We haven't got to see them in a long time. And it was really wonderful to hang out and talk everything from Star Wars to exercise to family to just everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we meet up, there's always that vibe of, all right, hey, we know we're in the Star Wars world, and they were here for Star Wars things. You can check their socials to see some stuff they're out here for. But there's always this like, can we talk about something else vibe? And that fails a little bit. Star Wars is always going to come up, and the space is always going to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at some of the comments. Yes. But yes, so we went there and, Maddie Morton says you went all the way during rush hour. That's commitment. Yeah.
Again. Yeah. Ken kindly gave me a ride home, but I took a lift there too, which is also like, sometimes I have noticed if I take a lift to the airport, Lyft drivers who want a captive audience to tell you about their weird life story and or business plan and or chemtrails are hunting for people to take on long rides. So every time I have to take a long Lyft ride, I'm like, oh boy. And I got the most quiet man with no music. It was strangely zen.
Yeah, I could go all ways. You've been in a ride share with me. I can affably talk about anything they bring up, but there's those times you just kind of You want to stare out the window and just go on your journey, especially that one. No, a lot of fun. So one of the things that came up, we weren't going to share all the details of our of fun personal time with the Damons, but we're talking about if you had the opportunity to meet John Favreau and like, what would you ask him? Not in terms of like a complete press setting, but more of just a casual, hey, John, big fan type of thing. And, Alex was very quick to run to, I want to ask about Cobb Vanth, which I think is a solid choice. Some might say controversial. And we had a conversation with Alex Amali and Taffeta that, I proposed, and I think you did as well, Joseph, to ask him about food. What would you ask John Favreau?
Ask him about the cooking is great. Well, because he's such a passionate guy. I have a couple friends, like one friend in particular who I just adore, who in fact gave me the whiskey that I'm drinking right now, who reminds me of John Favreau, just like a really personable guy, like that would really talk to you about anything. Like, I think you could go up John Favreau. This is not what I would choose to ask him, but be like, the pants pocket in my jeans is extra linty today, and I don't know why. And he'd be like, here's a great story about lint, in the 14th century. And he would tell you something, and it would somehow end up back to, and that's how he made the Lion King. Like, he's such, in a good way, a talker. He's got the gift of gab and the gift of thought while he's gabbing, I think.
Oh, indeed. The Dinner for Five stuff, and then even the Disney Gallery stuff. I mean, he dominates some conversations in that Disney Gallery thing in a way that I was like, hey, I want Kathleen to say more. But I've never, it's never malicious. It's never nefarious. It's just kind of who he is. So that's why I really would, if you have John for a moment, talking Star Wars is understandable, especially in circumstances. But I would go straight to what I would think his love would be. And I'd ask him, like, how do you make a grilled cheese sandwich? What's on a John Favreau grilled cheese sandwich? I think I could get 30 minutes out of him.
Oh, at least. I think he could take you on the journey. Grilled cheese is a great choice. If I was going to ask him about food, maybe, what he would put in mac and cheese, because there's a lot of, fun social media debate about what can you add? What should you add? What are standard things to add? All that kind of thing. But my honest thing that I would ask him about, Ken, is his apartment in Swingers. As I have mentioned before, I live near the building that his character lives in the movie Swingers, and I go for my daily walk and I go past that building almost every day. So like at least once a day, I think about John Favreau.
Yes.
And that specific, like, he was a young man in that movie looking out. I've read rumors online, and I don't know if it's true or not, that that was just his apartment where he lived.
Yeah,
which makes so much sense. So I would just want to share that very real thing of like, Mr. Favreau, I walk by your fake home every day, and I think about you. So, did you actually live in that house? Did you shoot in that house? Like, what is a young man? That's a movie about a young man having a hard time reaching their dreams. Like, did you feel that then? How do you feel when you look at that movie now, and who you were then and where you are now, and all that kind of stuff? It feels like a dumb, personal, real window into who is he?
I think that's better than grilled cheese. Maybe we should get him for an hour. You and I should. That's right, as publicist. We don't want to talk Star Wars. We want to talk grilled cheese, Cubanos, and living off of a very busy street in Hollywood. Without completely doxing you are between two key Swingers locations, what used to be Cafe 101, which has come up on the show before. And so when I dropped you off, we had been talking about John Favreau, and my special lady is new to LA, been here 6 months from Dallas. So she's taken in the city in a way that a lot of locals like me who have been here for nearly 30 years just don't anymore. But I get really excited about that apartment complex. I get really excited about Cafe 101. So she was luckily a captive and interested audience of me being like, and that's the apartment complex that he left all those messages. It was, oh my God. And then he went down to Cafe 01 and Cafe 101. And it was a good end to the night. Favreau Swingers and Star Wars.
Absolutely fantastic. And got to take her to the dressing room.
Yes. Though Marty and Lane, rest in peace. I did get to see them at least once. That's a thing I could experience.
Me too. Yeah.
So we are going to take calls soon. We got a lot of calls lined up. We've got Steve, Jedi James, Cameron Stewart, Obi-Wan Jacoby, Maddie checking in from UK, which will be interesting because he's our Maul fan, the one that's almost dangerously a fan of Maul, and he had kept himself away from all the marketing as best he could. So interested to see what came up there. In retrospect, Joseph, here's the end of the week. And looking back on the first 2 episodes of Maul, there's so many things I love. I do love that we and many others celebrated the animation, not only overall in the show, but specifically in Demas and Vario's dinner scene. And I do like that information came out that, yes, in fact, that was inspired by chicken parmesan, I believe served at Dantana's next to the Troubadour. Which you have, I actually have never been to Dantana's. I've actually performed at the Troubadour, but Dantana's is one of those LA classics where a lot of where Glenn Fry and Don Henley wrote and fought a lot over Eagles music. So now with that bit of information, what is your thought on that scene now?
Well, I am given to understand that the amazing Dantana's was also the primary hangout of Harry Dean Stanton, and at times you could just go in there and he'd be at the bar and you could just be like, "Hello, Harry Dean Stanton. I would like to talk to you about your film career from Blue Velvet to Avengers." So they should have animated Harry Dean Stanton in the background is what I'm saying. But yeah, I was at Dantana's once for an anniversary, and I believe I had the chicken parmesan. So I feel even closer to Star Wars now. That's really great. The quality of the animation is just fantastic. And like we said, to me, it's obviously just like the quality, but also the choice to put a spin on it. It feels so messy and organic, and that is what's making it even more beautiful in a time where we're being pushed with technology that makes things more rubbery, more plastic, less human. To see them go, let's take something that is digital and let's make it messy and grainy and gritty and laggy in a good way, and make it feel even more human. I wanted to eat that space chicken parmesan. Yeah,
I love it. I really appreciate the Dantana detail. That makes a lot of sense. Call out to a famous spot. Also spot a lot of animators hang out with as well. I think it was part of the note. But the initial reaction to the social media post that I saw was like, this meal was based on chicken parmesan. I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, absolutely. I saw it. Oh, this is a little bit more of a detail. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that object that Darth Maul is holding is a lightsaber. I don't know if you noticed that.
Sorry, I'm choking on my own bile. Yes, indeed. A good Easter egg. I'm sure that was in other people's breakdowns. This is chicken parmesan. Yes, indeed. Well, we're almost ready to take some calls. Any updated thoughts for you a few days into the existence of Maul Shadow Lord?
No, I think I'm just so excited to see where the manipulation goes next, of Maul's direct manipulation of Devin, but also I think the way the show is kind of playing with the audience to build empathy for people making choices that seem good at first but might lead down a dark path. I think it's so well set up to play those games, and I think Brander Lawson and his sad divorced dad energy is just like this amazing heart and glue, and I can't wait to see how that develops.
Indeed. Absolutely. And Amaranth asks, wait, I'm sure it's happening. They're eating chicken parmesan and Maul Shadow Lord, at the Demas and Vario criminal lord crime boss meetup. So there you go.
One other thing, Ken, that I meant to talk to you about on our 2-hour review discussion. Demas, fantastic character design, fantastic Star Wars name. However, as a fan of Only Murders in the Building, there's a character named Demas who has all of the sauces that he dips things in. Were you distracted by that? Because I can only hear Demas being said right before, and his sauces are great.
No, I did not think about that. I also got to catch up on the 5th season. You've reminded me. And Hacks started this week. Oh, I got so much TV to watch. No, that is amazing. You know what? I kept thinking of him. I think Demas was such a good crime bossy character. He looked like, and because he's a Star Wars alien species design, he didn't. To me, he looked like he would have been in perfect. In concert with Dick Tracy characters.
Yes.
Lips manless and everything. Like you could have been slurping oysters. I kind of like that there. Yeah.
And Ochi fan 327 says I was distracted because I was convinced he would say it's a me, Vario.
There you go. It's-me. All right. Are you ready to take some calls? We got a lot lined up that people want to talk about.
Yeah, let me put my listening hat on.
Oh, we got a listening hat now. Oh, there we go.
I am ready to listen.
The hat that has lasted decades. As always, this is mostly a video call-in show. So if you are calling in and you fire up your cameras, that's how we know that you agree to our terms. There are no hidden terms there, just that we are good to have your face on there. But if you can't, you're not in a spot where you can fire up the camera, you just want to call in, that's fine too. Just keep your camera off in the queue, and I'll know to switch to an audio-only feed for you all there. Our first call of the day, I think this is either new or not as much. Let's find out together, Joseph. Steve calling in, camera ready. How are you doing, Steve? Is this your first time?
Yeah, first time. Just I've been a big fan for years now. I just finally signed up to the Patreon. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you.
We're very happy to hear that. Very happy. Thanks for calling in and gracing us with your presence. Favorite moments? What'd you love about the episode 22?
I think so far, I think every time I watch these animated shows, I don't get overly excited before they come out. But then when I actually sit down and watch them, I realise how much I miss them. And I think a lot of the times they can be better than the live action shows. But I love the feel of it. I like the kind of the noir of it. It kind of felt like that kind of old, like noir cop type show. I thought the visuals were amazing as well. And the characters were all fantastic. So I liked how, even though Maul's the main character, I just kind of felt like they showed not too much of him. So he's kind of still an enigma a little bit, and they kind of built the characters around him really well. Which I loved. Like Lawson was great, kind of the tired cop, with the, being a single dad, struggling, kind of that trope. And he's got kind of the go lucky sidekick, Two Boots, which was great. But yeah, so far, absolutely loved it. And the score to it was amazing as well. Which I can't remember the name of the person that does the score, but he does all the animated shows. But I think he should do the live action as well.
Yeah, the whole kind of family. Yeah. Are you a noir fan in general? Is that something that have you sought out noir films?
Yeah, big time. I love those. I like a kind of a mafia noir type film. It's like when I was a kid, I grew up with the Batman animated series. And I loved that it kind of was that 1930s type, type setting. And I still love that to this day, to be honest. So. I tried to get my son, who's 10, trying to get him into that show, but I think it was maybe a little bit dated for him. But he's loving the Star Wars so far, which is great. I've managed to get him to watch most of the films now. So, but he needs a bit of a break because I got him to watch Force Awakens, and he was very upset with Han's death. So that was a struggle for him, for sure.
Same.
Understandable.
Love it, Steve. And going back to what you said up top, that actually connects with me is, we're a big fan of the animated series here, and I agree. I understand your statement of, hey, sometimes they're better than live action, and in many ways, I agree that we obviously love the live action stuff here too, but it's a different energy, and I too fall prey to a little bit of like overlooking animated series when I want to rewatch. And this happens a lot with in fact, I just rewatched the last 3 episodes of Clone Wars season 7 in prep for the show, and I had this do I want to do that? Absolutely love the Clone Wars. Our Clone Wars report series here is one of my favorite things we've ever done at ForceCenter, and I was like, hey, okay, let me start. I'll watch all 3, and I was glued to it in a way that I absolutely always am. But it was I experience the same thing sometimes too. So it's an interesting little side effect of Star Wars animation being so good.
And every time I sit down and watch it, I just think, why have I not been hyped for this at all? So, so it's the same thing with all the tales of the Jedi, and I think, okay, it's coming out. I'm not going to watch it when it drops the first hour, but then when I sit down and watch it, I think that was amazing and it was great. And I don't know why I wasn't excited for this. Whereas if it's something like Ahsoka, where like Thrawn's my favorite character, but I didn't particularly love the show. But it was every morning as soon as I woke up, I wait to see if the episodes dropped. But I should be more like that with the animated shows, really. But yeah, loved Maul so far. He's intriguing character. And I'm not one of those I'm not a massive fan of people surviving in Star Wars so much.
Right.
But I'll give Darth Maul the benefit of the doubt. But I'm hoping that's not a trope going forward with other characters. But yeah, with Darth Maul, I just think what they've done with his character is brilliant. So, but my wife is not the biggest fan of anything new coming out because I collect a lot of the toys. So, so when a new show comes out, she's like, "Oh no." No.
I think that's a good thing. Good thing. Well, Steve, we appreciate you calling in for the first time. Appreciate you jumping on the Patreon page. But beyond that, just happy to have you here in the ForceCenter community. Thanks for sharing that, and keep us updated on your kid and the future love of Star Wars as it grows.
No, thank you for having me, and big fan of you guys, and keep doing what you're doing. Love the positivity.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining the Patreon. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Steve. Check it in. That's great.
I love the pointing out Batman the animated series. Alex on Star Wars Explained has been doing such a great job of discussing some of the really direct parallels with the film The Dark Knight. I mean, when the Batman the animated series came out in the 90s, it's a huge staple of the forward movement of genre storytelling on television, because it was sort of the closest to comic book Batman you could get, and some people would argue that it still is. But yeah, it's a weird to be like, that show was pulling from these references of the 30s, 40s, 50s in terms of like the design, the Art Deco and the noir vibe of Batman, and then that came out in the 90s. So then when I see something like Maul, I'm like, well, this is of course referencing 30s, 40s, and 50s. Like, no, that show that I watched in the 90s is now more than old enough to be referenced and to be a part of the conversation. So that's really fun, and for me to think about it of like, yeah, this isn't just, riffing on Laura, the film noir. This is riffing on The Dark Knight.
Look, you got it. This is the last week of my 40s, Joseph. You got to be careful with the time conversations. It's a little heavy. I was doing some research for another project on a channel I work for occasionally called The Drive. Check it out. It's a car channel I help out with every once in a while. And I'm doing a research project on Route 66 and the Cars movie. That kind of was inspired by Route 66, but then has also helped the tourism on Route 66. And I realized I was talking about a younger generation of people coming along to discover Route 66 from the movie. And then I was like, oh, wait, but the movie's 20 years old. They're not even the younger generation. They're the millennials. Time is a scary thing. I'm sorry, too. There's a new poll feature from StreamYard. Usually we do a poll. It's from YouTube directly. So I put it up. I have a question of what's our favorite breakout supporting character, Spybot, Two Boots, Master Iko Diodaki, or Ludi Vario. But when I realized when I show it, it just comes up on the screen and covers our faces. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this going forward. I'm going to leave it up for a second, and if anyone wants to try to test the voting, so I can move it around, and it will now just it will completely cover all of
This is what every piece of technology needs: is new janky features. That's what they need.
New janky features, a life story thing. All right, the votes are coming in.
I think I'm going to guess you vote by. Amaranth says, I don't know how you vote, but I see other people putting in the number of their choice in the chat. So I think that must be how you vote.
Maybe. I'm so
we
curious.
Vote? Ken, do we get to vote?
I'll
try voting as ForceCenter.
There we go.
See if our vote counts.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. That's who it is. We're live testing new things here. I'll bring it back up. I like interactive features like that, but when it is not practical.
It's a not Vario.
It's not the Mario. All right. I'll bring that.
Voted for Vario first.
I'll bring that up again and we can continue the voting there. But let's continue with some of our calls. We did get some comments coming in here too. Tegan Neal had a series of comments here. What I enjoyed about these two episodes is how it's setting the stage for Maul's long-term wrath against every member of the Shadow Collective that's thrived in his absence. I like the introduction of the police side of the story that begins with these two episodes under Brandon Lawson. Wants to deal with what's going on. So there you go. And talking about the Imperial presence, he feels things will go sideways once they show up. The Kiners need to be kept on indefinitely as their scoring for Star Wars has always been on point. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of those things that we should never overlook the brilliance of the Kiner family and their music.
No, and I think being able to sort of build on obviously the legacy of John Williams, but the legacy that the Kiner family has built up over all the years of doing these animated shows.
Yeah, there's another example of something that's new is almost 20 years old. That's something I can't grasp onto. All right, we got calls from Jedi James, Cab Stewart, Jacob, who is a Jacoby One Kenobi, Maddie, Detective McCarcel, not in a car, going to call in here. I know he's got to go to work, so McCarcel might jump up in the queue because he's got to go to work. He's a responsible young man. All right, Jedi James on the show. How are you, my friend? Favorite moments from Maul, episode 1 and 2?
How am I? I can see him in my mind's eye. So close, so close.
There you go.
No, yeah,
Well
love
done.
the show, and yeah, I'm hungry now too because you both were talking about grilled cheese and chicken parm. I'm part Italian here, so that's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
There. I would
Yep.
almost consider going to that dinner party if it meant I would get some, but maybe not because there's 2 violent criminals involved in it.
Yes.
No, my 2 favorite moments of the show so far were I absolutely loved Master Ian Diodaki's rescue of the civilians on the bridge when Maul just crushed it to pieces. And I think I especially loved it. I mean, one, it's a Jedi move, and I will always love Jedi moves, but I really loved how it was just a reminder because, you both mentioned it, like we almost wanted to go against the Jedi way, dare we say, and Master Ian Diodaki during these dark times when Devin's like, no, we just need to steal food because we're hungry and we need to survive. And Master Ian Diodaki's like, no, we can't. And maybe is he being a little rigid in that regard? Who knows? That's a nuanced question to talk about. But I just loved how that puts the question in for Devin and for us. But this is a reminder of like, yeah, but Maul's a bad guy. He's putting people at risk. He's crushing bridges. Yeah. He's endangering people. He's not a good person. And Master Ian Diodaki is probably the better person. So I absolutely moment, and I also loved everything about Maul's manipulation with Devin because it sounds so good. It sounds, use your power. You have the ability to do it. You get out. That's like something you want to tell people. You want to make them believe in themselves. And the whole time I was like, that sounds good. What angle is he playing at? Because that's not going to be used for good. It's going to be a slippery slope. And it broke my heart, but it was also strangely powerful when I watched it and the episode ended and Devin found that creative way to get out of her situation. And I cannot wait to see where Maul's going to take that. I'm also going to be devastated by it because, again, it's great advice. Great advice. Do believe in what you can do and looking at problems in a new way. He's just not going to use it that way.
No. I think he is going to be saying, hey, doesn't it feel great to use your power? Oh, wouldn't it be great to use your power to defeat the Empire and save these people? Oh, wouldn't it be great to use your power to just kill the people standing in your way? Yeah. I'm sure you heard Ken and I go on and on about it, but we were both very taken with the wonderful moment where Brander Lawson seems to be uncertain what Master Iko Diodaki is up to. And Brander Lawson hasn't watched all of Star Wars. He doesn't listen to podcasts. So he wasn't immediately, that's a Jedi. He's like, that's an old turtle guy straining. I hope he's okay. How did you, as a fan of the Jedi, that felt like a really fresh moment to me. I was curious about your take on it as somebody who really loves Jedi.
I'm actually happy you asked because I think I almost missed it. When it first happened. I was just watching Master Ian Diodaki so much I didn't even realize what Brander's reaction was. But upon listening to you both talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can understand that. And I do like it because it is fresh, it is cool, and it is a reminder. And I think some publishing stories have touched on it here and there too, but just like the Jedi were in the thousands, but it's still a huge galaxy. Lots of unknowns, lots of hearsay. I'm sure I definitely can be sure. And Brander Lawson said, I haven't seen a laser sword since the Clone Wars. So he probably has an idea. But again, he's as you both said, the guy from who could fit in Andor fitting in this show. And he's just got space pizza boxes and he's worried about his kid, but he's also consumed in his work. He probably just doesn't have time to think about that kind of thing or think about it as closely as he usually would. So I really did like it when you talked about it like that. It was just like, it was like this moment of like almost unknown and confusion. But then again, maybe that's a good thing, because hey, maybe it could mean someone who isn't fully bought into what the lies of the Empire will say, but maybe it's also a bad thing, because he could be just as easily susceptible to like, oh, so that's what that was. And with Master Ian Diodaki, following him around in a so Batman-like way, disappearing at a moment's notice. I'm very curious to see where Brandon Lawson's going to take that. I want to believe he will be an ally with him. I want to believe it. Brandon Lawson just strikes me as that kind of guy, but I don't know. I partially like it because it makes me think, it may wonder. These are the dark times, as we know, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's a testament to the great branding of the Virgin Empire, that they are so easy. It's so easy for them to just erase this entire order that was very key to the galaxy, and turn people on them, and also make it impossible and a thing of fear to even discuss it. Right? That's coming to play in other parts of the Star Wars story during this time of like, don't even talk about the Jedi. The Empire's listening. They don't want that. So I loved every moment of, and I think it's just a really fun, endearing moment too. Hey fella, you all right? Hey sport, how you doing?
I agree.
Well, thanks so much, Jedi
You look
James.
like you're gonna pop a blood vessel there.
Indeed. But thank you for sharing that stuff. Wonderful stuff, and I think Brandon Lawson is a breakout character indeed. So appreciate your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of the show. It's a tantalizing start. That's what I kept saying. Such a tantalizing start.
Ooh,
and of course, I love I just like sharing this moment of calf with you. Can't drink it, but I like sharing it.
Two boots.
That hit me hard.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Oh, sorry. All right. Next up is Cam Stewart. Audio only here for Cam, so our faces get to stay up here. Unlucky to all of you out there. Hey, Cam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Great on a Friday.
Awesome. Well, I just got to share. First of all, I will also say that I love the moment of like, hey, buddy, you okay? Because it's like you see a guy straining and he's not like, oh my gosh, I need to help him. He's just like, what are you doing? Like,
it is really funny to just see it totally reframed of like, if I was walking down the street and an older man just had his hands in the air and was breathing heavy, I'd be like, I mean, no disrespect, but are you all right? What are you doing? I just love that perspective.
Exactly. Just like a really small comedy beat. But my two favorite moments, I think, in a show that could so easily just be a sort of slasher violence fantasy for Maul, which, don't get me wrong, every scene where he pulls out his lightsaber is incredible.
Yeah.
And, the animation.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But I think the two moments that stood out to me are the moments when he didn't kill people. And that made me realize that the violence, instead of violence being a tool to show a character going over the edge, his non-violence will be a tool to show Maul in moments of growth. So the two moments I'm thinking of are, he doesn't kill Brandon Lawson, and he could have gone right through him, but he sort of pauses and is like, actually, I'm going to leave this one. Yeah. And he doesn't kill Master Daki when he sees him. They have that sort of like glance at each other. And I just thought that was so interesting because we know that, during the Clone Wars, which was only like a year or two ago at this point, he would have taken any opportunity to destroy anything good because he was just angry. And it was fascinating to see. It kind of clicked to me that like, oh, this is his growth, right? Like, he's not going to have a revelation. He's not going to become a good person. He's not going to be like, oh my gosh, I should, join the light side. But he might learn, I'm not going to kill this Jedi because maybe we're both victims of the same thing. And I'm not going to kill this cop because maybe, I can use him against my enemy. So it's still not like a good motivation, but it's like, I was like, wow, we've just almost never seen this sort of like a character choosing not to kill someone when they normally would as a signal that they're thinking,
Yeah. I really like that you pointed that out. And I think that for me, it's so much about like, I think he is coming to terms with how much his role, even when he was in the Sith and part of the grand plan, was to just be a weapon, a blunt weapon. And I think he really has designs with all of his talk of his visions and his dreams and his grand plan that he wants to be like, I'm the chess master. I'm not the weapon. I have weapons, and I'm going to go make Devin a weapon. So I see some of it is him, like you're saying, just thinking very, very strategically of like, I don't have to just be a weapon that lashes out. I can collect these chess pieces and leave them alive and know that I can kill them later if I want. But for now, they're going to be mine to control.
Yeah, I definitely love what you're saying, Cam, of just kind of it's almost more frightening when he doesn't go pure violence, because what is he cooking up or what is he thinking? And I've loved the moments that we've seen already, even before this moment, where he kind of spying Brander and through the cameras and just sees there's something else there. And what that will mean, we'll find out. Is it a potential ally? Is it someone he fears? Is it some energy he's picking up? I think it was one of the more little fascinating, not what we call subplots, but just little blips in the story that was interesting to watch. So.
Absolutely. And I'm sort of pairing this with clips I've seen from, Sam Witwer interviews where he said that Maul is from a certain time and a certain background, and now that everything has changed, he's maybe reevaluating and, like I said, not growing, but it's a different perspective. And I just like seeing that, because I also realized, in this such a tight timeline here, he hasn't had a chance to breathe since he had his spider legs and spider butt, as you say, Joseph. And then in a span of like 2 years, he has a brother, and then his brother dies, and then his mom dies, and then he has criminals, and then he has a planet, and then he doesn't have, and it's like all this chaos. And now he almost gets to like take a pause and say, okay, what am I doing? And yeah, just well, close to like, oh, sorry.
No, I was going to, you're now making me think that that's why he's on Malachor, that it isn't some fight he lost or he's trapped there. He's just like, I need some quiet. It has been go for old Maul, and I need to just chill out and go to the cabin in the woods. So maybe that's the answer.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Sometimes me too. I would just go hide in the dark and go crazy.
Indeed. Yeah.
I think that's good code for, when you're having a rough day. I need to be stranded on Malachor. I just need to be stranded on Malachor.
Just there it is. So that was one big moment. You had another little moment, Cam?
Oh, that was the main thing. Just
okay. Cool.
I don't know. I was sort of just rambling before, but
no,
great stuff. Just loving all of it. Can't get enough of this show. So
yeah, and the numbers are showing it, at least according to the social media ads that are running on Disney and other places reporting it. Thanks, Cam, for calling in, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
All right. Good stuff indeed.
I want to grab this comment before we grab our next caller. Douglas said a little while back, I'm late. Why is Joseph wearing a hat? Judgment, of course, but it's making me scared. Douglas, I'm wanted by the FBI, and I think this hides my identity. No, I just talked about this hat for years and got it in 99 back when we first met Maul, and it just seemed fun to wear during our conversation period. I forgot that it would make Ken and I look like hat buddies. Welcome to Hat Club.
Well,
you gotta have a
hat. We get a bathrobe too. It's as with Maul not using violence standing out more. Me without a hat stands out more, and you with a hat stands out more. So that's what it is. I'm going to quickly bring up the poll again through StreamYard. So we're asking what your favorite breakout supporting character is: Spybot, Two Boots, Master Iko Diodaki, or Ludi Vario, who's got no votes so far. I think he's got something to him. I think he's funny and entertaining. I'm not rooting for him.
Yeah, if Ludi saw this, he would yell his signature line, "Do you know who I am?"
You know who I am? Spybot in the lead. So it's 1 for Spybot, 2 for Two Boots, 3 for the Jedi Master, Iko Diodaki, and 4 for Vario. Just put him there in chat. And apparently the poll grabs it. This is something that I'm excited to try out if it wasn't covering all of our faces. That'd be there. Anyway.
Also got a couple of good super chats here they want to share. Thank you for people sending in the super chats. Alan Smith says, love my guy Richard. I need to look up how to pronounce the man's name because I realize I don't know how to correctly. There you go. It is Two Boots. Great voiceover. Yes, great voiceover acting. I think everybody in the show is killing it. Fantastic there. The Phantom Otaku says, I say this every animated show, but the Kiners. Then followed by many emojis of music and fire and emotion.
Indeed. 2 votes for Vario coming in here. 2 votes for Vario.
They do know who he is.
They do know who he is. Spybot's still in the lead. So vote. But we'll go ahead and bring in our buddy Michael McCarcel. We call him the detective. Why? No reason. I just did it once, and it's never stopped. And I keep fueling it. But let's bring him in here. Michael, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Going over probability stuff.
You're what now? You're going over probabilities? Are you the ship? You're the Heart of Gold in Hitchhikers? What are you?
I'm an electrical engineering student, unfortunately.
That sounds like a good thing.
The sadness, the pain. Unfortunately, I'll probably have a good job and a good life.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah. Favorite moment from Maul?
I do like the escape at the very end of episode 2. Or I love that it is the creativity that is usually asked for of many Jedi, but the temptation that's being pushed on her by Maul is I'm curious to see if this will end up being a moment of her kind of pushing back against him, or if it's something he'll use against her.
Right.
Because it's been posited that yes, this is either this is what he wanted, this is how she wanted her to escape, or if he expected her to just blow the door off of the front of it. I can't tell.
Yeah. I think he left it open for her. I think he left it open a crack to see, like, if you could just stop being rigid for a second and look behind you, you will see the crack of light I left for you. If you choose to remain here, it's because you want to be a prisoner. It's because when I ask you who you are and you say a prisoner, do you really believe that, or are you free? I feel like I think that's I think Vario's in a cell, and I think Devin was in an escape room, and I think she solved it.
Yes.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yes, indeed. And Michael, what does her escaping that way mean to you? Not just in terms of predictions for the character, but in watching this young Jedi who's struggling with reason because of her circumstances. What does that do to you?
I think it does give me a little bit of hope that she can think for herself, but she's being influenced and she might not realize it. She thinks, because no matter what, she thinks she's doing the opposite of what he wanted in this moment. She thinks she's going against his pushing and prodding, because I think it seems like her assumption is that he wanted her to blow the door off the thing.
Her assumption,
in the way that Anakin probably would have. Anakin would have just been like, "I'm super strong in the Force," and just blown the door off the front. And I think that at least to her in this moment, she is being creative and thinking outside the box and trying to literally find the light. And unfortunately, it's probably a trap, but to her, it's still a means of thinking outside the box.
Yeah. There's something to it. And I don't necessarily think they could go this deep. These are talented writers, but her seeing and feeling the wind, but also a little sliver of light, and that kind of timeless thing of, like, sometimes light is a reflection of darkness, like this like kind of like false path forward. I like that there too. And I think it's all about, and again, I want to reiterate, Joseph and I have not seen all any of the episodes beyond these ones. I know a lot of people have the screeners out there, and that's a great thing. We have not seen them, so any predictions or thoughts of next week is organic from us. But I can't wait to see, to your point, Michael, if that's what she thinks, like, I outsmarted him, or I gotta, if he's like, slow clap, that's exactly what I needed you to do. Do you see the lesson, Devin? You did this on your own. I wonder what that will do to her if that happens.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I don't know if they'll have a conversation with that, but I think he wants her to go back to Master Iko Diodaki, because I think he's much like Palpatine did with Anakin. I think he's aware of playing the fun dad versus strict dad. Like, he's going to be this the way, some of what Palpatine told to Anakin of, being kind, encouraging him, making sure he felt welcome is some of the stuff that the Jedi should have been doing. Right. But it was with this ulterior, motive, and also really, slipping into. and you're so powerful, they shouldn't be holding you back. And like the stuff that Kenobi's telling Anakin is good advice. Obi-Wan's being a good parent, but he's like the parent who's like, I'm here all the time, and I take him to his baseball games, and I tell him he has to put his socks in the laundry basket. And then I got this other dad coming along saying, you don't ever have to touch your socks. You know, they're weak for making you have to handle your own socks. I think it's all this manipulative parenting stuff. And I think Maul at this point is smart enough to be like, go back to your crappy dad who's going to tell you to do your chores.
That's so true. Stepdad and dad. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying this is in terms of just prediction, but again, going from where you're going, Michael, is it more valuable to Maul to have Devin take out Master Iko Diodaki? Is it more valuable to be like, yeah, I need you to do this, not just for, hey, get your first kill, some of the stuff that he experienced coming up with Palpatine in his system, but just like, yeah, that would mean more. That would be, you're committed if that's the direction this is going. And I know the Darth Talon predictions hang over all of this. We'll see if that comes true on any level. But you know what I mean, Michael. Is that, could that be his strategy?
I could see that. I do. I don't know if he wants her to kill him. I don't get that vibe yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter what, it just benefits Maul when he dies, because there's no way he makes it out of the season. I think
no.
The clock is ticking for. Let him win. Let him win our dumb survey, because that's all he's going to get. He's not long for the world.
That's it.
That poor dinosaur Jedi.
Good stuff.
I think no matter what, his death's going to benefit Maul. So I don't know how much more he would need for her to be the one that does it. Because he could have a shipping container fall on him, and then he's just out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter to him how Diodaki goes, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. There you go. Michael, appreciate it. Appreciate you calling in 10 and 2 while you're sitting on your couch and not driving.
Good luck with the you going to class or work?
No, I've got work in like 10 minutes.
So. Okay.
Oh,
enjoy if possible.
Thank you, Michael.
I guess.
Take it easy.
I like Scantron's comment here of reading Devin's mind of a bored rule follower. Dad is getting me starved. Yeah, that could be. That could be it. All right. Other comments coming in here. Got that one. This keeps Amaranth saying still processing the use of Duel of Fates as Maul's theme. I kind of think it always was Maul's theme, even though it is Anakin's. It is the story Qui-Gon. It is multiple meanings, but I just think in terms of organic marketing, it's always been associated with Maul. But this has come up a lot this week, Joseph. Are you still thinking of that at all?
Yeah, I think I'm fine with it, with the way that the themes evolve. And for me, if it is, I'm fine with it. It's almost a theme of what choices somebody on the edge of anger going to make, because that tracks with, to me, like almost all the times we see it, and pops up in Attack the Clones, or hear it pops up in Attack the Clones when Anakin is hunting for his mom, hunting for Shmi. And I love Filoni's explanation of it. It is the fate of what will happen to Anakin, but that fate is tied up in Maul, so it really doesn't bother me. I get where people are coming from, but it really doesn't bother me, and I so love it. And I feel like it already took that turn with its appearance in Solo. Maybe I processed it in 2018. Maybe that's what this is about, where I was kind of like, But you want an iconic, instantly recognizable bit of music to go with Kira's terror of Maul, that's not just a generic ominous chord, and that little soft bit of Duel of the Fates works so well that I think I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I agree with that there too. Chris, talking about the fate of Master Iko Diodaki, Christopher Baraxim says, late to the party. Jedi Master All-State Turtle Guy is still stuck in the old world. It's a brand new day in the galaxy. This story can't end well for him. That should be to the Polymarket app we go. Everyone put your vote down. No. I don't have a lot of hope for him to survive, but he already 2 episodes in, it's one of my surprises, and we talked about it on the deep dive, but like just how he was used, and I kind of might have put money down on him going in episode 1 or 2, and he's still there and still there in a pretty important way to the story of season 1.
Yeah. I mean, if I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Maul exposing him, or Maul trying to lead the Inquisitors to him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see like Inquisitors take him out and have it be more of a manipulation of, look how his ways don't work. Look what they brought him to, kind of thing. I want to throw this up quick because I think it's a great point from Jeannie from Tahini, saying, I don't think this is going to be the same old Jedi versus Sith story. I'm hoping for more than just angsty teen makes a bad choice. I think that's a great point that's going on about the similarities there with Palpatine and Anakin. But I think Jeannie makes a great point, and I think the show has already kind of teed up that this isn't just a story of light and dark. It's a story of what of our previous rules, our previous way of life fits in this new era. And I think that will be a lot of Maul's edge, right? Of like, great, your Jedi way worked great in a different world, but it's not that world. And you have to be willing to do things you weren't willing to do before, you weren't taught to do before, in order to survive, in order to help people, you know?
Absolutely. Good stuff indeed. Terrence Martin says, cool hats. See, Joseph, we got cool hats on today. There you go. And Esteban brought this up. David W. Collins, the voice of Spybot, has a podcast called The Soundtrack Show, which is a great podcast. And David is a wonderful human being as well. So check that out. I don't think it's any coincidence they spent an episode and a half talking about Duel of the Fates. Yeah, he's maybe teeing it up there. Indeed. All right, back to, I'll do a quick check of the poll again. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's still holding steady. So a couple seconds. Yeah, Spybot. We haven't even really talked about Spybot as much today. 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. We'll get your vote in for your favorite breakout characters so far after episodes 1 and 2. Spybot, Two Boots, Master Iko Diodaki, and Ludi Vanna. I think I'm one of many that in order to say Iko Diodaki correctly, I have to do it like I'm singing the alphabet. Elemento. It's an Elemento P thing right there.
For me, it's a speed thing. It's a name you can't search slowly. And this is the thing I discovered doing theater. There are certain turns of phrase it's like jumping over a pit. You have to go running at it. Iko Diodaki.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So I think even if I pull this down, you guys can still vote. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. We'll just have a little fun with this poll at the end. But we got another call here from Obi-Wan Jacoby. Check it in here. And then Matty Gunner after that. Obi-Wan Jacoby, how are you doing, my friend? What's your favorite Maul moment so far?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Great. Yeah. So one of my favorite things about this show so far, and I have notes on my phone now that I've actually taken notes this time.
Love it.
One of my favorite things so far is just the ability that this show has of packing so many action sequences in just a half hour and still have time to also do like quiet character moments as well. But so the sequence I want to talk about is the whole escape sequence from the beginning of the second episode. You know, a lot has been mentioned about how the beginning of the first episode is a lot like the beginning of The Dark Knight, but the escape sequence also has a lot of the chase in that movie as well.
Yeah, no, great point.
Yeah, because especially when the frat bros, Knight brothers, pull out the rocket launcher, that's like straight from that movie. And then also when Master Daki does his little move and flips over the truck, that's a lot like a scene in that movie too.
Yep. The Dark Knight vibes are strong all the way through. Maybe this would be a Star Wars that Chris Nolan would like. Maybe. maybe. No, great stuff there. Yeah, and you're obviously you're on board with all this stuff and the noir and crime vibes of it, and as we go through the Star Wars underworld.
Yeah, I haven't really sought out like the classic noir genre, but I've definitely, like mentioned earlier, Batman the Animated Series and The Dark Knight. I'm very much into like new noir references and things, and this is fitting right into that.
Nice. Well, if you want a recommendation, a lot of people consider Double Indemnity like the sort of birthplace of it, and Double Indemnity is a fantastic movie. I think you'd really enjoy it.
I've heard of it, so that's a good start.
Yeah.
That's a great start. Great start. Awesome. Any other moments you want to discuss?
Well, I mentioned it in the chat too, but one just tiny little moment that I really enjoy is the weird little elevator droid that laughs at Lawson when he goes to visit his friend.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. People mention all sorts of like these great little details that this really. Sometimes when I work on a project, I really try to go on like just like a flavor pass of like, okay, well all the pieces are in place, but is each moment sort of packed with little details that make it feel unique and specific and alive. And I love my Clone Wars and I love my Rebels and that, but every once in a while there's an episode of like, yep, that was another fight scene with the clones and got it. It really feels like they're on a mission to be like, there's fun little things packed into every corner of this. And that elevator droid feels like that's not a detail that needs to be there. That's not like, that's the secret.
Yeah.
Eventually Devin will team up with the laughing elevator droid. It's just fun,
It's just it's kind of also got like a Flintstones vibe, but instead of dinosaurs, it's just weird little robots doing jobs that you don't really need something to do that for.
I hope somebody gets away in like some sort of like space truck and it's just a bunch of pit droids underneath just running with their feet like on the Flintstones.
Yeah, indeed. Jacob, thanks for calling in. Great stuff as always. And I'm a big fan as always of your light shade, your lamp shade, I guess I could say, behind you. It really does look like you're in Cloud City.
Well, unfortunately, this will be the last appearance of said lampshade because I am going to be moving this weekend.
Oh, well, enjoy your move.
Okay. I mean, you could steal it and bring it with you, right? This is your setup now. This is it.
That's true.
Thanks for calling in as always, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye, guys.
There we go. A couple things. You favorited this one, and I really like this question. Joseph Ziggy Space Dust asked. I'm sure late to this, but how do you think Maul being so well spoken affects his character? I don't have any tremendously deep thoughts on that right now. I'll lean on you for that, Joseph, if you want. But like, I'm glad this came up because I sometimes still, in a fun way, have this like the Clone Wars Rebels, now this version of Maul with Witwer behind it and in such a wonderful performance all the way through. Sometimes doesn't match for Phantom Menace Maul. And Peter Serafinovich comes in for, as he always jokes, 1 minute. By the way, I'm a fan of Peter Serafinovich. I also think you could also get him. He makes some very old school Gen X jokes about his experience on Phantom Menace, which are both funny, entertaining, but with the wrong interviewer turns into or sounds like bashing.
A little pile-on, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a little bit, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And Maul can go through growth, and we got to experience him in a way that we never thought we would in 1999. But sometimes I do have that thought of like, I can't see that Maul having these conversations, which is okay. Shows some sort of change, growth, whatever you want to say. Am I off base at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like the behind the scenes. How did it happen? And I know, Serafinovich said George just said do an evil voice, and George cast him, so like there was clearly something that George heard in it. It could have been a beastly voice, or could have been a weird double layered hiss. But I think it starts with George letting it be evil, but slow and silky smooth. Like, I mean, in some ways, it's the original "Come to the Dark Side, we have cookies." This is like. Come to the dark side, we have Dove ice cream. Like that voice is so silky smooth.
It is.
And obviously there's a lot of stuff in the comics where we don't get to hear his voice, but I think he's still kind of written as the Maul that emerged. I kind of like it of like, this is a person, a being who has great intelligence and wry, ironic humor along with the Fury, and only the Fury was nurtured by Palpatine. So I really like it of like, he's part snarling savage, in part, a smooth, thoughtful, master intelligence man. And ever since he came back from his demise, he's really been like, I want to be more than just the snarling weapon. I get to choose when I assert what part of myself. In this show is really about the like, I am very intelligent and I'm going to show everybody.
Yeah, that aligns and makes sense. And I think it's definitely the voice, it's definitely the cadence, it's definitely the things that just sometimes, I think maybe I see Maul like Sidious wanted Maul to see himself. You're nothing but a blunt weapon. But I love it. It's good stuff. We got our Maddie call here in a second. Douglas brought in this comment here. It might be just an instant, but I grinned when Maul did the casual backflip down the ladder shaft, avoiding blast of fire. It's not deep, but just the kinetic energy really sucked me in. Yeah, I talked about that on the show Tuesday. Just a fun little moment, and so Maul-like and beautifully elegant amongst all the violence.
Before we take the last call, I think there's this another quick fun speculation thing to talk about here. Ken, will Devin and Riley meet and make bad decisions together? For me, it's an absolute yes on the first part. I really do. We got such a very short scene with Riley, but I think the fact that he and Devin are both tortured youth struggling in this new world with father figures who maybe aren't giving them exactly what they need. I think the fact that they are so aligned makes me feel like they are absolutely going to meet up.
I think it'd be great. It'd be interesting. Yeah. And then Lawson will have, groans of his own, maybe that Master Yukodiodaki will address. Ethan said, I just saw him as a weapon to be used, not as someone who was particularly smart. Something like Odd Job from Goldfinger, the silent enforcer. Yeah, but here he is now. Here he is now. Right. And then I want to bring this comment from, I think even before we went live or right when we went live. Tony _men says, I don't know if this makes any sense, but when Maul and his gang infiltrate the prison and the room goes red, Lawson says, we have to protect Vario. And that felt so real and chilling. Law and order-ish. Dun, dun, dun. I love that. Yeah, the crime vibes are real.
Yeah, and I think Vander Lawson, he wants to do his job, right? He wants to get it done and protect the city.
Indeed. A couple of minutes left in the show, so if you want to call in, you're Patreon supported. The links are up, patreon.com/ForceCenter. Or you can say something, a favorite moment of Maul episode 1 and 2 in the chat. You can do that as well. Thanks everyone hanging out with us here today. But maybe the last call of the day, and it's a grand one. It is our buddy, Maddie Gunner, calling in. And Maddie, as I said up top, you are sometimes dangerously a fan of Maul. Where are you at following these 2 episodes?
I think that also it leads to my advantage because I can provide a different perspective, which I hope I will do.
Okay.
Because let me tell you,
it.
These first 2 episodes, like I thought I knew Maul. Maul is my favorite character. Like it's taken 2 episodes for me to like rethink this guy.
Okay. Intriguing. In what way?
Well, not rethink, but like see him in a different light. And it goes into my favorite moment.
Okay.
And it's the moment where Master Dinodaki is holding the bridge up. Maul looks directly at him. He could have killed him. Like he probably could have walked through that entire group of cops and Dinodaki without breaking a sweat. But he didn't.
Bold claim.
He didn't do it. And it took me to my rewatch. He's like, there's a part where he says, even the all-powerful Jedi fell. And he doesn't say it like mockingly. He's saying it like, even the Jedi fell to this. Like, this isn't what I expected was going to happen. I didn't think that this would come of my master's grand plan. And it's even like, there's even like a hint of remorse in his voice. And it made me think, has he developed some kind of level of respect that there are 2 Jedi that he hasn't met Ezra yet. So these are probably the only 2 Jedi he's seen after Order 66. So he's probably got like a small level of respect. Like, okay, you made it out. Fair play to you.
I think that's a really great point. We haven't had a chance to talk about. There's that moment with the Rook cast, where Rook seems surprised that any Jedi could have survived in this moment too. Like these characters haven't read the comics. These characters haven't, watched Alex's video of have too many Jedi survived, Order 66. They seem surprised, and Rook Cat's like, well, how? And I think Maul has a response, something like, well, how indeed? Let's find out. So there is really some curiosity, not just like, oh yeah, what do you know? A couple were going to slip through, but more like, oh, I want to know your deal. I want to know how you survived.
Yeah. And every kind of relationship Maul has, Joseph, you're right. He's never had like a real relationship. He's always been lonely ever since he was a kid. every relationship he's had has been transactional, especially from Sidious. It's like he's always been a mean to an end. So that's always the relationships he's had with people. You are a means to my end. And I also think his end has changed. I don't think he wants the power. I think in this case, he's Michael Corleone. All these families have wronged me. You were supposed to come to my aid. You didn't. You betrayed me. So now I'm coming for all of you. Sidious is the top one. He'll get his, but all of you are first.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I really think the show is handling revenge in terms of like there's this sort of like, oh yeah, I got to take back my territory, but it's so emotional. If I can't, even Dima says, you tried to make me look weak. I feel like the show is kind of doing a good job of reminding us that, the revenge thing is really like, revenge is a really cool word for you hurt my feelings.
It really is. It really is. It's an emotional boo-boo.
They will pay for my emotional boo-boo.
It really is.
I'm thinking he's maybe seen. Oh, sorry, go again.
No. Continue your thought.
I was thinking like maybe he's seeing Devin and her masters like, oh, I've got 2 Jedi that I could team up with here. When I've got the Inquisitors are out there, Vader's out there. Having
Vader's
2
out
Jedi on my side.
Daddy's out there, yeah.
And I mean, people keep talking about Darth Maul versus Darth Vader. Haven't read the comic where Darth Maul kind of dog walked him for a little bit. So
I love it. You're a Maul homer. I love this. You're like, he won that fight. He won it on points. He won it on points.
He won because, if anything, he cheated. But I digress.
That's the Sith way.
That's the.
So, Maddie, you got a new perspective on Maul here. 2 episodes in. What does that do to you as a Maul fan? And I joke. I know you don't celebrate the evil side of Maul. Just that you take a lot from this character, which is what I love about your views on him. But what does this do to you? What's changing? And are you afraid that 8 episodes from now that maybe Maul won't be as meaningful to you? And I mean that in like I'm grown up. I've moved past this vengeance-filled monster. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I actually really like it because I know there's a lot of nuance and depth to Maul as a character, and they've just added even more to it. And we're only 2 episodes in. Like I don't like judging a story when we haven't. We've only got some of its parts. Some of its parts.
Absolutely.
And it's like now I'm kind of seeing him in the same way that like I see someone like a Tyler Durden now. Like who I was talking to Alden Diaz the other day. Like I kind of compared him to Bodhi from Point Break. He's like,
love it.
He's like this someone that has like you can justify his motives and ambitions. The way he's going about it is completely wrong. But I don't think anyone can say that the reason Maul's going about what he's doing is completely unjustified.
I mean, I'll give it a high percentage of unjustified, but yes, there's some truth there. Yes, that's what's always been intriguing about him and my guy Stannis Baratheon. There's a little bit of truth in what they're saying, but yes, no, I know I love this. This is great stuff, Maddie. This is a character that's always meant a lot to you, and they've talked about it in the promotion of this. Both Filoni and Whitwer doing the press rounds, and some of those are out there. Check out the Rotten Tomatoes ones. Our buddy Christian Rubalcaba did that interview series there. But like, yeah, they acknowledge that Maul's. I think it was Filoni said like, yeah, Maul's pretty popular, which is weird to say. It makes a ton of sense for a lot of reasons, just like Vader being popular, and a lot of it is cool badass. But to realize that no, there's a lot to this guy, and there's a lot to play with, which is why him coming back has still been one of the more valuable things in Star Wars storytelling. So I love hearing it, Maddie.
Yeah, for sure. And I quickly want to touch on one thing you guys said before I jumped on that actually kind of sparked something in my head of this. Devin's like a product of her environment. All she's known is like the protection of the Jedi Order and the protection of the Jedi Temple. She's never had to go without. Like she's always been able to, have a roof over her head, have protection, have someone to look up to, have someone to guide her. And it's going to the old question of should you steal to feed a starving family? She's never known anything but that. Like, you know, probably always had food on the table. Now she's having to do things that she never had to do, that her master sees as wrong, because he's believing in the kindness of strangers, as he said. But this is a time of oppression. Like, those people are trying to put food on their plate too.
Yeah. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I think I thought it was significant that bending of rules that they introduced there was complicated, and you know, you can see it. To me, I can see it from like, hey, in the darkest, most awful of times, when everybody thinks you should throw your rules out, is when you should cling to them the most. I think is Master Yodiko Daki's perspective, which like, I can see some wisdom in that, but then it is, as you're saying, it tied to that very like, but they are starving, and nobody will miss one or two of those fruit. So is this the time to be rigid? I love that it is not simple. It's a rich, complex question that I think really frames their relationship super well.
Which it sets it up too for when Maul has the, oh, did you think I'm the villain? Did you think I'm the villain in the holos that you used to watch kid? No. There's shades of gray here, friend. I think that's very, 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 very well laid out. It's wonderful to watch.
And I did love the moment with the pike when he had the pike on the ceiling of the ship, and he was just like, oh, I'd love you to think that, and they just dropped him onto the table.
Of course you would, you violent man. Obi-Wan Jacoby said this. I'm curious about how we get from I will take this apprentice and we'll take down everyone, including Sidious, to Malachor, where even the name Vader makes Maul go, I got to get out of here. What do you think about that, Muddy? Or money, Maddie, your money? Because
you're so money, Maddie.
You're so money. I think, you know, if Maul would say, "I got to get out of here," though I did defeat him on points.
I mean, Vader shows up to Malachor with Inquisitors there. Like, Maul's a smart guy. He's not stupid. Like, taking on Vader, he'd probably win. Taking on Vader with the Inquisitors,
it's a 3-on-1. He's like, I got to live to fight another day. Okay,
I just rewatched those episodes, and he's treating the Inquisitors like, man, I will just clown on you all day. I don't care about you. And he lectures Kanan and Ahsoka and Ezra that they got to go because Vader's coming. He's real clear about his concern about Vader.
I love that.
I want to leave Maddie, Maul's biggest fan, Maddie, on the line for this. Vulcan Nerd says, I'm a little wary of a Vader fight. Vader clearly outclasses him, and I think it might take the spotlight away from him, and we want to keep seeing Maul lose in lightsaber battles. So how do you feel about that, Maddie? Of like, what do you want out of a Vader Maul confrontation in this show?
My question to that is, what lightsaber battle has Vader ever won apart from the Luke in Empire?
There's one big one.
Obi-Wan technically won in A New Hope.
Yeah, technically.
He beat his son. Yeah. He beat his son, who had barely been training for a few weeks.
Right. He loses the main event. Yeah, he loses the main event.
And then that son comes back and beats him. Like,
yeah. Okay.
He's what? Oh, Obi-Wan beats him twice.
And
so,
you know, he's 0-2 against.
He beats Reva. He beats Reva. He beats Kanan and Ezra. He is he can only be escaped in the Jedi Fallen Order game. There's not even a like we can pretend to stand up against him.
Oh, I tried.
Sure. Also, yeah, I would give him the win against Ahsoka. Only a magical element saved her. You know, I wouldn't put it down on the back of the baseball card, but I think he got the advantage there.
Yeah, he's also killed many Jedi in the comics.
Yeah. Maddie, here's your homework assignment. You need to go track, watch all of Alex and Molly's videos. Come up with Vader's actual record as a lightsaber fighter.
I'll go on Fight Metric and see if Vader's record's on that. And also, I think I know why people don't like Vario is because he reminds me of one of the Monstars from Space Jam.
A little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Maddie, please check in and keep us updated on your Maul thoughts throughout this
season.
Excited.
Yeah, about your Maul journey, Maddie.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Maddie, got to checking out. We're about ready to check out. I'll check on that poll. We'll bring that up again if anyone wants to vote in this silly little poll. Your favorite breakout supporting character: Spybot, number 1 in chat. 2, Two Boots. 3, Master Iko Diodaki. Sing it when you say it. And coming in, finishing on number 4 in the last place is Looney Vario. Well, I think he's a early. I like him. I think he's a glub shitto that you can not root for, but enjoy. So I'll leave that up for a second. If you guys want to put that in chat, we'll close the poll in a second here as we finish our thoughts. Scott says, "Hang tough, Vario."
Yeah. Here's my quick Vader thought, Ken.
Okay.
I think that Star Wars battles are often extremely well written to remind us this is not just about power and stats. It's a mental game. I think Obi-Wan can handle just about everything except Dooku, because Dooku gets in his head. He manipulates him successfully. And I think Vader, as powerful he is, never beats Kenobi, because Kenobi knows him too well and he gets into Vader's head. I think Maul has so much caught up in, I'm just as powerful. I could have been the special boy anointed by Sidious. And I think that even if he can match Vader, even if he can fight him to a tie, he can't get over the emotional wound of he's better than me. You know how anytime it's classic Star Wars, but you start something and go, I don't have the confidence I can win this. I think Vader does that to Maul.
Oh yeah, it's like when I'm on a bill of stand-up comics that have more prestige resumes, bigger resumes than me, and I'm like, I don't know if I belong here, and you get in your head. No, I like that. Absolutely, and connected to silly sports, yeah, same thing as well. A team can have your number, even if they're sometimes worse than you. Like, in the back of your head, these folks always beat us, and yeah, it's psychological. Yeah, no, and there's something to be said. We're having fun with the stats of it all, but there's something to be said of a character like Vader wins, to borrow some wrestling terms, wins a lot of squash matches, wins on the way up. And the baby faces, the heroes, are often, they're chasing. It's fun to watch a baby face chase. It's fun to watch the hero or the villain, the heel, escape with a win along the way. And there's a crack, but they're tough and they're scary. And then when someone like Kenobi ekes out a win, or Luke ekes out a win, I think it is classic storytelling for a reason, and I think it's fun to analyze these lightsaber fights, which we did on our lightsaber fight series, which you can find. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. We're closing the poll here. Where is it? It's on this little widget page. All right, and last second. Wait, it tied. Oh, I got to resume it. It tied at the last second.
That's fine, like Maul and Vader might.
All right, there you go. You're right. I'm gonna call it. It's a tie. Spybot and Master Iko Diodaki.
The dark side and the light. That's fantastic.
There you go. I love that. There. All right, we're getting on out of here. As Amaranth said in chat, hey, on the way out, if you're watching live, give the stream a like. If you're watching later, give a like. You might be listening later because we put the audio versions up on our podcast feed. Please let us know via social media that you're listening on the podcast. Don't forget, on Sundays, Sunday, we always put up the Databank Brawl rebroadcasted episodes. We're up to, I think, number 117, and we still have about a year to go. We got a lot of good episodes ready to share with you all. It's been fun putting that back out there. So that's stuff going here. Final thoughts, Joseph, as we move to week 2 of Maul.
Yeah, very excited. When I missed this comment from Will Dixon, I wanted to share real quick. Spybot is giving me Nubs vibes, but evil. Because he tied in our poll, but we didn't get to talk about Spybot much. He's fantastic.
He really is. He is indeed. I think he kind of inspired my thought behind the poll, but I love where it went. And all characters are great. So that is it. Don't forget, if you want to call in to these shows, we'll be doing these kind of Maul talk back live here in ForceCenter Now for the next few weeks. You can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/ForceCenter. The unique link goes up every week, usually on Thursdays. And you can get ready to call or video on in here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't mention this much, maybe in passing. Spybot having an Embo head, maybe like a Cad Bane hat, but more Embo. It says Amaranth. I think that's right.
Yeah, I thought of him as evil dishware, but you're right. That is a very he's very Embo head coded.
Very, very, very indeed. So there you go. All right, folks. That is it. Links down below on YouTube for things we do, like Joseph's YouTube channel, which has short films on there as well. You can catch my show, The Blathering, live. So that is it for now. We'll see you Monday live for the news, and we'll take it from there. And, of course, we'll have some early reactions from all episodes 3 and 4, but our deep dives are on Tuesday. That's it. Tony Thaxton singing. Time to go. See you next time.